Hi guys, hope you're well. Welcome to DOdaily, Monday Motivation. It's Des here, ready to attack a brand new week. And I really am today. I want to use as Monday Motivation the feeling I've taken from supporting guys at the Manchester Marathon at the weekend. Of course, that's where I've been. So as well as being around a bunch of inspirational people anyway, we've had that team spirit, we've lived in the same digs and just had an absolutely brilliant time. It's been fantastic, feeling that. But there's ways I could have handled that, ways I could have been a bit frustrated and a bit negative about it. And I want to tell you why it's made me feel so positive. I'll come to that a little bit later, but hopefully you've had a great weekend. Hopefully you've enjoyed what you've been doing. Hopefully it involves activity, but if it doesn't, just the things you enjoy, whether it was something planned or spontaneous, it's a great time to look back and go, that was good. If it weren't quite so good, we just reflect on it, don't we, and say, we'll do it better next time. So what I try to do through DOdaily is really pull on the positives and when the negatives impact, because they always do, is just find a way to turn everything into a positive. And that's definitely something I've done. Like I say, something I'll come back to. Of course, today's all about Monday motivation. DOdaily is daily motivation to keep going, to keep pushing through. And I've spoke a lot recently about wanting to do certain things towards the end of the year, get on top of this and get on top of that, as well as all these things that have happened over the weekend. The last few weeks have just been absolutely brilliant. Riding that wave of enthusiasm, of excitement, lots to look forward to, and again, it's easy to forget when you do the next big thing, but if you let it all, if you take as much as you can from it and let it all sort of come out and one thing leads on to another and you get excited about it, there's no reason to sort of stay on top of things for absolutely as long as you can. And that's the way I'm feeling right now. Through DOdaily this week, we've got all the usual offerings: Tuesday training, Wednesday workout, chance to get involved in activity around the Do Running group, let other people inspire you. I always talk about never missing a Monday. I've done lots of steps today, so I've done plenty of activity whilst I've been travelling, whilst I've been getting over a big weekend, and getting prepared for the rest of the week. I've done lots of activity in terms of getting back and that kind of thing. So I feel I've done enough, but tomorrow I really hit it. I've not missed a Monday. Hopefully you've managed to get out there and get some activity, but I'm really going to be at it first thing in the morning. I actually scheduled in some coaching, which I want to be involved in personally, as well as doing the coaching. I want to be taking part for 6:20 in the morning. So that's a bit of an ask after a busy weekend, but it's to get me right back on it, to get me into it and to get me going. Tuesday training, of course, and then there's a solidarity session at 6 p.m. Wednesday, I was actually hoping to have done a vlog from Manchester. Didn't quite work out, just the logistics didn't work as a spectator. It's probably a bit easier as a runner, bizarrely, but that didn't work out. So I'll be back with more words of encouragement to drive us on through the week, to use what's happening during the week to spur us on and keep building on that activity as we go. On Thursday, I'll have Thursday Thoughts, the live episode where we answer your questions live. Please keep popping those in, post them on any of the comments below, any of the social media where you'll see all the links at the end of the video. I'd love to sort of have plenty to go at. Been lots of running stuff recently, that's absolutely fine, of course. That's my passion, that's where all this stems from. That's what Do Running is, as well as other bits of activity. But absolutely anything, anything you want to ask me. I put the throwback question out there last week. It wasn't quite a question, it was set me a challenge. I've had one or two of those, so I'll be sort of going through those and working off the back of them and see which ones are realistic and which ones are not. So yeah, a bit daunting, some of them, but I'll give it a go. And like I say, keep posting those questions, whatever the subject is. Of course, through DOdaily, I try to be out there, open. My feelings come out. It's raw, it's emotional at times, but that's what it is. This is me. This is how I live everyday life. And then, of course, wake up to walk on Friday. Got back to that Robin Hood way last week. Really, really enjoyed starting the weekend like that. Whilst it's ending the week, it almost feels like the start of the weekend for me. And getting back to that routine, after enjoying other things, and wanting to get to near the end of this challenge, or wanting to complete this challenge rather, it's still nice to be doing it. And whilst I can still get that enjoyment, absolutely fantastic. So again, I'll be getting deep into North Notts and getting a good walk in to round things off. Hopefully by that point, I'm feeling exactly how I am now, absolutely buzzing from everything going on, really ready to attack things. I've got so much to do. There's so many plans through the running group, through the community interest side of what I do, through that, of course, DOdaily, and then just things I have to do anyway, real work, filming, doing things for other people, absolutely brilliant. And the reason I'm feeling so good this weekend, I haven't forgot about everything that's gone before, absolutely not. I was talking on Friday about just sort of remembering it, allowing yourself to enjoy it, don't feel bad for having a good time, but did take my mind away from it slightly, the Manchester Marathon, because I was actually there in a different capacity. I saw everything from a different perspective. I was a spectator. It's not something I'm used to being. I've touched on in the last few weeks. I spoke about my injuries and how it's frustrating. Absolutely, it's frustrating, don't get me wrong. But what I want to sort of explain is whilst it is frustrating, that's not jealousy. That's not sort of letting what other people are doing sort of bother me. What it did for me is stop me doing it. It's obviously injuries don't feel great anyway, so that's not a good feeling. But I sort of channeled it into spectating, threw all my energy into it. Even though I do sort of DOdaily and I like to do lots for other people, I'm not somebody who's particularly out there. But when I was cheering people on, I was shouting names, watching people achieve absolutely amazing things. Absolute strangers, but then of course the Do Running guys who I spent the whole weekend with. There was 8 or 9 of us, and we kind of lived in each other's back pocket, but that was brilliant. We started it with a park running, nice and easy. 1 or 2 of the guys went off and did a football thing, so I got a lot from that. Whilst I couldn't do the marathon, I got a lot from going to the National Football Museum, going to watch a local non-league game. All the things I enjoy doing, built it up to the big day, and kind of made me forget about those frustrations. And like I say, whilst I don't think they related into what other people were doing, I had no choice. But once I was there being a spectator, watching the likes of Kay and the other guys getting PBs, absolutely obliterating their times, the enjoyment they took from that, the emotion, the feeling, it just all sort of hit home to me that I've been saying what I want to do, and rather than sort of get upset, get angry that I can't do it at the moment, it's made me sort of set about today, like there's nothing going to stop me now. I want that feeling back. I feel fantastic for those guys, really, really proud, really pleased for them, no sort of bitterness whatsoever, but, it's really made me feel like it's time now to get back at it. And that's what we need, isn't it? We need to draw that inspiration. I talk about it all the time, about drawing inspiration from absolutely wherever we can. Just because somebody else is doing something, it doesn't mean you can't do things in a different way, or you'll get the chance to do it in the future. And that's exactly what I saw. I knew that anyway, but I saw that, I thought, I'll get my opportunity. But for today, I can use what they've done to really drive me on this week. It's so easy when we're not feeling great. We all get a little bit envious. It's probably the right word. Jealousy and bitterness is probably a bit too strong most of the time. But we all get a little bit sort of envious of what others are doing when we're not in a great place. Of course, I'm saying over the last couple of weeks, feel absolutely fantastic, feel good about what I'm doing. So I can't allow something like that to sort of eat away at me. I've got to use it. I've got to take it forward, and seeing people sort of, by shouting the name, seeing them smile, they'll be walking because we was right near the end, and then they'd just pick up the pace and start running again. That sort of thing is absolutely incredible. We laughed as a group, which again, laughter is the best form of medicine, they say, isn't it? It's absolutely, when you're laughing, when you're enjoying it, when there's not too much worry about who's doing what, why, when, how. It's absolutely fantastic. We had a real good time. But what it's really done for me is put me right back in the frame of mind that I want to achieve again. I want to do the things I do. Not because such and such did it, because I know I can do it and I know I can enjoy it in that way. And that's why, as a runner, as somebody who likes activity, they're the sort of, when the endorphins are flowing, when the achievements are coming, when you've got that accountability to keep attacking it, all the things there I mentioned about the week ahead is all about accountability, all about doing something to make an improvement, to make yourself feel better, to keep that spirit going. Like I've said all throughout, absolutely buzzing for that. I'll put a few clips up at the end of the video of some of those runners, some of those smiles, and some of that good feeling. I managed to see Kay 2 or 3 times around the course, which again added so much for me. It was an unusual experience, as I've explained already, but seeing it from that side really picked me up. Really made me feel like I could impact on them as well. I always say, when you're not feeling fantastic, or even when you are feeling fantastic, it doesn't matter. If you're doing something for someone else and you genuinely know you're happy and committed to their cause, it makes you feel fantastic. And that's exactly the way I'm feeling. Working on lots of charity stuff and lots of stuff around the running group, and rather than come home and sleep and sort of think about going again tomorrow, I've been right at it tonight, right at it, sort of passing the message on, working hard, even in this sort of bit of time where I could have relaxed, I could have sort of gone, we'll start again tomorrow. I said at the end of last week, there's no need to wait. Even if you're not going to do all the right things before a point, if you start putting those foundations in early, you'll be right on top of it. Tomorrow, if I'd not done what I'd done this evening, I'd have it all to do, and I'd have even more to do as well, if you get what I mean. So right now, having worked hard and really enjoyed some time out by not doing the things I do, I've come back, hit it hard, because I'm really inspired by those guys, and that's an absolutely amazing feeling. If you put yourself out there for others, the rewards will come back. I'm open, they do generally, and I'm hoping in the future they'll come back to me. We go again first thing in the morning for me, 6:20. It's a change, it's something different, but why should that stop us? That's going to get me right at it. I know when I get up early, my productivity is there. So after all this I've done this evening, I'm feeling good about it, and then I'll get up early and the endorphins will be flowing. Yes, it might make for a tired night, but again, I'm wanting to build those routines, aren't I? You've got to put the work in to make it happen, and that's what I'm trying to do. So that's all I've got to say today, guys. Hopefully there was a strong message in there that when you put yourself out for others, seriously, it will come back to you. It helps. And it makes you feel great. It's the easiest thing to do. It doesn't have to be travelling to Manchester to support a marathon, stand on the streets for hours and hours, clapping and shouting and, putting yourself out there. It could just be holding the door open. It could just be saying thank you. It could just be somebody sort of commenting on what you've done. It could just be commenting on what someone else has done. That's all it takes sometimes to just change things slightly. We work off those small wins, and before you know it, it creates absolutely amazing scenarios and situations. I started DOdaily many years ago from a there's a few key moments. Running, the whole running thing and doing events and leading groups. Never had any intentions to do it. Never planned on doing things this way. Always quite ambitious, always quite sort of pushy with myself. But, there's a few pivotal moments where I think that small win led on to this bigger win led on to this even bigger win. And whilst I've definitely not made it in life, absolutely not. I'm talking about the ups and downs here. It's just proof that if you put that work in, be proud of yourself, be positive when the chips are a little bit down, but also sort of accept when you're working hard, when you're doing what you have to do, and when you're feeling it, genuinely feeling it, that's okay. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Until Tuesday training, guys, hopefully you can join me throughout the week. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. after that solidarity session, after that early start, hopefully in the same kind of mind frame. Until then, just doing it.